Welcome back to Central Tabletop Gaming. I'm your host, Jeremy Kelly, and today we are going over 8th edition, Getting Started in 40k. Now today you'll see in front of me I have the Adeptus Custodes instead of my Astra Militarum, which you could say was my 7th edition video, but since it is now out of date, I'm going over this for those who are unaware of how to actually get started, and, maybe just in case you're wanting to play these, what you might be looking at. We're also going to go over the prices based on the time in which I got them. By the way, I also apologize. I'm not feeling very well, so if you hear some heavy breathing in the background, I apologize. Allergies are kicking in, but we're going to try to push through this without too much hassle there. So, the first thing you'll notice over here is the rule book. This is the first thing you have to purchase. Upon my original purchase, this was $60, so not for the faint of heart. What I would suggest is trying to wait, maybe seeing if you find a cheaper one on eBay or Amazon, or support your local game store and just spend the $60. I mean, that's what I did. So, you're going to need one of these to get started, just to play the basic vanilla rules, and not really much flair into the game, except for knowing what you're actually doing upon getting started, point system, blah, 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 blah. So, then you're going to get that. The next thing I would suggest is you actually look into what models to get, but don't buy them yet. Do your research. I did a lot of lore fluff stuff in order to find the one that I wanted, and that's when I decided to go with the Adeptus Custodes when they originally released, because I was hoping they would release sooner, and I was actually really upset in 7th edition they didn't have them. Then finally, after my whole upset deal, they finally released for 7th edition at the very tail end of it, just so they could announce 8th edition was around the corner. So, when I purchased these, they came with a bunch of other things, including a Land Raider, a Rhino, and a few Sisters of Silence for $160 in the box set, which was known Talons of the Emperor. Now, I recommend getting that box set if you're planning on playing the Custodes. Otherwise, look out for box sets because they might actually be cheaper than buying the individual models. I know for me personally, I really did enjoy the fact that when I bought the, what were they called again? Burning of Prospero box set, it came with so many models that were from the 30k era. I paid $120 for that box set. Had I bought the individual models, it would have been much more. I think I would have actually saved like 20% total. Don't make me swear on that because I'm not even 100% sure as I'm saying it, but I'm pretty sure I saved about 20%. And it came with other things that I just couldn't get at the time, and now possess some of my favorite models. So we're going to continue going over these, but look out for box sets. They might actually make your life a little bit easier. Now, once you've decided your army, if you're not ready to purchase, try to find friends who already play or your local game shop, just watch them for a while, because this can actually be the most expensive part of your models. On top of that, you have to assemble, glue, paint, you know the basics. Assembling and gluing, I guess, is the same thing, but hey, who's judging? So, if you're going to go ahead and wait on those, getting the models, what I would recommend is going ahead and buying some dice. Now, these are actually the Custodes dice, which I just kind of wanted to show off because I was really happy I got them for $20. Any regular 6-sided dice will do. I've seen people come in with like what I call rainbow dice, where it's every color in the sun except black and white. Some people prefer that. Some people even come in with crystal dice, though I don't know if all tournaments allow crystal dice. I don't know how to describe them other than they really oddly shaped dice. Look it up online. I'm sure there's plenty of photos to show you what I'm talking about. Even if you buy the Talons of the Emperor box sets, you're going to realize some models don't come with it. For example, this character only came out in 8th edition, and he's the Custodes captain. Now, again, I cannot pronounce his last name, but I call him Captain Valorous, as that's his first name. And he's the leader of the Custodes. He cost me $30 at the time of his release, and I'm pretty sure I got one of the first models ever sold in my area. So I was pretty proud of myself for that, because I usually can't buy models straight up. On top of the dice and the models you're going to need, if you're actually not planning on playing certain game types, you probably don't need these. But I do recommend getting these as well. These are more for objective-based games, so when you actually play against other players, that's great. If you're just learning the basics, your friends might let you slide on not having these. The rulebook has a pretty generic layout of them. So keep in mind, some objectives are listed in the original rulebook. Now, another way you could kind of cheat the system is this also will have the rest of them, which are basically part of your cards, except for a handful. Now, this is the actual codex, and in this codex, it will actually go over the cost of your army, a little bit more of the lore and fluff, as you can see in front of me. Give you some examples. And in general, just kind of show you what you need. Now, right here, you'll actually see Valor, so I guess I actually said his last name, not his first name. And it'll actually show you the information you need to play him, such as how much his power points are. I don't think it shows cost, nope. But that will be in the back of the book, which I'm not going to flip to, but you guys get the basic idea. That book is, again, called the Codex. It cost me $40 at the time of its release. And became a huge part of me just figuring out what all I needed to do. So, again, I'm going to go over the prices one more time. This is what's going to scare you guys. I'm not going to do the math, so feel free to do that for me. $60, $40, $120, but keep in mind you got a bunch of stuff with this. Another $20. I think I paid $20 or $30. Go ahead and put $30 down. And $30 more dollars. Now again, not all models are displayed, as the Land Raider itself is not even halfway painted. But this is what you're looking at getting just to start the Adeptus Custodes in 8th edition. I'm also going to inform you this is probably the cheapest army to get started with, as many other armies are going to cost you basically an arm and a leg just to get started. Now, I do recommend playing with friends before, reading up on your lore, kind of get to know your army. I mean, it's great to play an army, you have no clue what you're doing, but it's probably more fun to actually understand a bit of it and have a little bit of fun table talk. But we'll go over that again in another video. As of right now, I am Jeremy Kelly. This is Central Table.